So welcome everybody. We're gonna get some viewers in soon, but I'm here with Siddarth Dhananjay, my old
Yeah.
friend from like a long time ago.
And former student.
I know. You remember that?
It was fun. It was so fun. That was like my first introduction to anything like that. So it was like really, really cool for me.
Yeah. So I was one of the directors of the school called Studio 4 that was started by James Franco. And Siddarth was in the class that the main teacher, Andrea, she's amazing, but
Oh
she had a
yeah.
conflict. So she could
Mm.
only do one of the 2 days. And she asked me if I would, step in, which I felt extremely honored to do. And that's how I met you because I was like your teacher for like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's
and
cool.
like, you guys are so like these guys are amazing. You guys are so talented, and I'm so happy that I still talk to a bunch of you, like
Right.
you and Moses. Um,
Moses. Oh my God. Yeah.
yeah, there's so many.
Awesome. Mm.
Cameron, like it's so
Yeah. Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, and you were always so talented, and you were always so like free spirit, good energy, and I'm like, oh, I'm just really excited to talk to you. I'm really proud of you that
Thank
you're
you. Thank you so much.
killing it. Of course. You're
Mm.
welcome. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself? I usually do like a little introduction, but I feel like
Sure. My name is Siddarth Dhananjay.
yeah.
I'm from India. I moved
Yes.
to America in 2010 for college,
Yeah.
to go to Grinnell College in Iowa.
Yeah.
Small
Oh
rain.
yeah. I remember you were like it wasn't much going on there compared
Really
to New
good
York.
school, really good, great school, and I had
Yeah.
a great time. But yeah, definitely did not know what I was getting into in Iowa.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I went there. I studied philosophy and economics, nothing to do with
Yeah.
theater or acting or anything. And
Yeah.
then towards the end, well, throughout college, me and my friends were making these like spoof rap videos,
Yeah. Yeah.
fun just for like our friends and for like the college like film festival thing. And one of our
Mhm.
friends put it up on World Star Hip Hop, and like it blew up, and like people were like going crazy, and the comments were so funny that
Oh
we
my
were like, we should
gosh.
keep doing this. So we kept making one every year for like
Yeah.
3. And then I was just about graduating in 2014,
Hmm.
and I get this email in like the email of the fake rapper character that we had
Yeah.
created.
What was the character's name?
Dhananjay the first was his
Okay.
name. Um, and we get this email, and it's like, hey, my name is Michael Gottwald. I'm, a producer. I produce Beasts of the Southern Wild, and like we're making this other movie. Would you maybe be
Gosh.
interested? And I was like, yeah, like where do I sign? So he was like, oh, that's great. Like we want you to send in a tape.
Mhm. Like a self
That was the
tape.
first time I ever had to, do a self tape. So we
Yeah.
kind of like jerry rigged a self tape, like, we didn't know, I didn't know what I was doing. So I kind of made a tape for them and sent it to them. And they were like, oh, great. I mean, after later, I mean, like post Patty Cakes, Jeremy, the director,
Yeah.
he told me your self tape was horrible. He was like, "No, your self tape sucked, but there was something about you that we didn't know. We wanted to see further," which is really funny.
Yeah.
But so apparently Jeremy had watched one of the World Star videos like
Oh my
one morning
gosh.
drinking his coffee because he just
Yeah.
explores World Star as you do. And he wanted to. He was like, "We don't know if you were a competent like." If you were smart or like could like handle yourself on set, like who are you?
Yeah.
But we
Who is
want
this guy making these videos?
right. So then they were like, the movie's still in the early stages, but we want you to come to Sundance for the director's lab because the
Wow.
he was going through the director's lab with Patty Cakes as a project. And so
Yeah.
I went for a week, and then I left. And during that time, I'm not an American, so I'm still on a visa.
I
So
remember
my
you're telling me that.
visa was
Yeah.
like ending. So I
Hmm.
wasn't sure like what was gonna happen, whether I could keep being here if the movie's even gonna happen and all this stuff. So I was like flying back and forth between New York and India and Indonesia, where my
Gosh,
parents live.
yeah.
I was just hoping somehow the movie would work out and I wouldn't have to get a job, you know? But so I mean, that was 2014, right? Sundance
Yeah.
summer 2014. And then we only started filming in 2016.
Yeah,
So
that was it. 2
it's
years.
crazy how long it takes for something to like actually, you know, happen.
Yeah.
But it was a really cool experience. And so after the labs, and then they were like, maybe we're still gonna make the movie and we kind of want you to be in it. They were like, maybe you should take some acting classes because you've never done this before. And I was like, yeah, no, I would love to.
To fine tune, right?
I know I like have a passion for it now, but I still don't of it, you know, and that's why the classes were so important and useful for me, because it allowed me to it makes you think about it in a certain way. You know,
Yeah,
like you change the way you think about it and being in front of a camera and like how to
of
approach it and
course.
stuff. So 2015 I did that, and then
Yeah.
2016 finally they were like, you know, why don't we were gonna make the movie and we want you to be in it, but it was still really tough because I didn't have a visa for acting. I actually need
Yeah.
an O1 visa to act in this country.
And what did you have?
And I didn't have any visa. So they were trying to
Oh
figure
my
out how to do
God.
it. And in some crazy way, they figured out that Danielle, who plays the lead in Patty Cakes, she's
Yeah.
Australian and she's on an O1. So they
Oh my
latched me
gosh.
onto her O1 as an O2, making the case that I was essential to her performance in the movie. Something, you know, they
Which,
figured
I mean,
some
yeah,
way.
you're like her
Yeah, no,
sidekick.
no, 100%. But like they figured out this wild loophole to
Oh my
get me to be in the
gosh.
movie. I did, and that's basically what started off my whole kind of thing here, which is cool.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's
Yeah,
like, I don't know, that's so special, you know? It's just so like,
it's a crazy story,
yeah, I
and I
love
feel
it.
like in some ways it makes me work harder
Hmm.
because, you know, like kids like give up lives to move to LA or like to try to do this and are still
Yeah,
like trying to figure it out. And
of
so for me
course.
to just like jump in there and be like, what up? I made these videos, you know? So in some ways, like it feels like I have to work as hard as I can, that I should be here in some way.
Of
But
course.
yeah,
But what I love about that, right, is like this started because you were making your own content. It
right.
was, you know, like you were creating something, and of course you were like, "Oh, this is silly. It's something I'm doing with my friends, just for this like little festival at my college." But it
100%.
got seen by the right person, which opened up like these huge doors for you. Because I
Yep.
remember you talking about, I didn't know what it was called, but I was like, you
Right.
were like, "Oh, like I'm gonna be like in this movie," and I was like at Sundance, and I was like, "Oh, okay, like that's
Right.
awesome." Like
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
everybody says that, you know. It's
Uh-huh.
like, okay,
Uh-huh.
like, you know, that's
Great.
fantastic.
Like cool. Yeah.
Oh, like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like of course I'm gonna be supportive, you know, but like it was like, okay, like
Sure.
that's really cool. And then to
Right.
find out like eventually what it became like this breakout like independent
Mm-hmm.
movie that was so well respected and like so well
Right.
reviewed, and like it's led you to so many other opportunities. It's
100%.
fantastic, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember I didn't see it until I was like on a plane to LA, and
Yeah.
it was on the thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta watch this. So I watched it on my way to
I think
LA,
most
and
people watched it on a plane, which is
yeah,
perfect too,
yeah,
because it's like an
it
undivided
is.
audience. Like you're really watching it,
Yeah,
you know, which is really
yeah.
cool too. Yeah. Mhm.
And it was so empowering to me because it's like this is someone that I know personally, you know, like
Right.
someone who's like created their own content and got seen and now is making this movie, which is
Right.
not even like, it was a great fucking movie. Sorry, I curse
Right.
a lot. Sorry.
Yeah. No, please.
um
Same here.
I love it so much, you know. I love underdog stories, and that's like kind
Yeah.
of what Patty Cake is, you know.
100%. Yeah.
And
And it's a really
Danielle,
earnest one, which almost like not
so
cool to be
earnest.
earnest anymore, you know? But like
Yeah,
that movie was like, no, fuck it. Like we're gonna just go for it here and
yeah.
like be pure in some way, which is like rare. Yeah.
I love that so much. If anybody has questions on Facebook, we're going to be taking some questions eventually.
Yay.
But yeah, that's I love that story, and I'm just so proud of you. And you did such a great performance in that movie as
Thank
well.
you. Thank you.
Yeah. So you didn't have an agent or anything at the time, right?
No,
It
no,
kind of
no.
was just like,
It was completely just me. With the help of the Patty Cakes family, like helping me through the whole thing. I mean, without
yeah,
them like supporting me throughout all this, I mean, it's a complicated process for them too, you know, to like vouch for me and like figure out all this visa stuff on top.
yeah,
They believed in me and they really wanted to help me out. And like without them, like none of this would have happened. So I'm glad that they, we're all like still such a family now. So it's really cool.
yeah,
But yeah, when we started, I didn't know anything about agents or representation or anything. And
yeah,
then when the movie came out at Sundance, when you're at Sundance, there's all these, agents and managers like out there like looking out, and
yeah,
obviously they must have looked up Siddarth Dhananjay and they were like, nobody knows, so they were
yeah,
like,
yeah,
who
yeah.
is this guy? So like a bunch of them I spoke to at Sundance, and that's where
Yeah,
I met my manager, Colin, who I
awesome.
just like vibed with a lot at Sundance. And it's a funny story. Colin is Lakeith Stanfield's manager.
Oh my gosh, I love Lakeith. He's one of
Yeah,
my favorite actors
he's
out now.
amazing. And he's
Yeah.
like his own thing. He doesn't work for like a management company.
Oh wow.
And so we were at some kind of Sundance party thing that Danielle and Lakeith were both like featured as like faces to watch or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was talking to Lakeith because I'm a big fan of his, and I was like, "Yo, like, so good to meet you, blah blah." And Colin was there,
Yeah.
and then I was like, "Oh, you guys should come watch Patty Cakes," And then he was like, "Yeah, like, give us tickets," and I was like, "Oh, I'll figure it out." And so like they watched the movie, and then Colin watched the movie and was like, "Oh, like we should talk, if you need, representation, blah blah," and then we just vibed, and then I was like, "Cool, let's do it." And then I had a manager, Colin, and then we both decided like
Hmm.
who our agent should be, I guess later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just kind of built from there.
And you've been working like nonstop, I feel like.
Kind of. It feels like not. I mean, I know like
Yeah.
on paper it feels like yeah, like I've had things come out, but
Yeah.
for me the hard part is like, being on set all the time. For me,
Yeah, that's
it's
the
like
hard.
because like I started off already with such like a solid like experience, then I got
Yeah.
used to it. Then I'm like, oh, it's not like this all the time. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
wait a lot for something to come through. So it's like, in a way, it's like I'm privileged in that sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been great. I mean,
Oh.
more than anything, it's I think like when you're starting out,
Mhm.
it's really hard to say no to things because you can't, because you're not in the
Yeah.
position to say I don't want to be in this. You have to take
Exactly.
everything. So
Exactly.
I've
Yeah.
been lucky to have gotten the things that have also, been good projects or like solid things that I would be,
But
proud to put my name on.
and you're also been working really hard though. It's like don't discredit yourself in that way. And you're
No,
a
no, no, no,
joy to
sure.
and you're a joy to be around. So I'm sure people want to be around you, right? They want to support you, they want to uplift you because you're that
Right.
kind of positive person.
No, no, 100%. I just,
Yeah.
I guess that's just me. I'm always thinking the other side. But yeah, you're right.
Oh, I love that. Can we talk about Undone? Which, oh my God, I got all my friends to watch that because I
Oh,
was
it's so
like,
good.
holy
It's amazing.
shit.
It's like amazing. I mean,
Wait,
I would
okay,
have been.
first question, is it coming back? I need to
Yes,
like,
yes,
okay,
yes.
and I'm gonna talk to you after because I don't want to give any spoilers out,
Sure, sure,
but I
sure,
need
sure.
to know something about the ending
Okay,
because
okay, okay. I
and if
can
you
tell
haven't
you. I
seen
can
it,
tell
it's
you.
8 episodes and it's a lot. I got Tina lead. It's a diverse cast. It's a fucking great story. And the rotoscope technique is awesome.
Yeah.
But go what you're gonna say. I cut you off.
Yeah,
You're
no,
in
no,
the
no.
cutting room.
It's it's the best thing ever. I mean, if I had not been a part of it, I would have still been such a big fan of the show. So
Yeah.
like to be a part of it as well was like super cool. The
Mhm.
rotoscoping stuff was like really insane because it's almost like doing black box theater. Like you're just in a
Yeah.
room with like a DSLR in your face. Like not
Yeah.
even, you know what I mean? Like like
Yeah.
anything that takes like generally good footage, and
Mhm.
it's like it's you and the other actor and nothing else, and everything else is like kind of animated over. But you like your movements, your face, your expressions,
It's all
they
real.
they can't put anything extra on it. Whatever you
Yeah.
give them is what is on the screen, which is really cool. So like
That
I
is really
hate
cool.
thinking about it as like an animated project because like we acted,
nobody drew you, right? No
Yeah,
one was
like we
drawing your
had to
expressions.
it wasn't just my voice, it was like we were acting, so it was really cool. But
That was
but
really
yeah,
cool.
Undone is like the same people as BoJack Horseman. It's
Yeah,
like their new thing. Kate Purdy, who's like the creator of Undone, is like one
yeah.
of the writers on BoJack, and she's this
Hmm.
amazing genius person who has all of these based kind of on her experiences
Oh wow,
dealing with mental health and like trying to find alternative methods of
of
like
dealing with that.
dealing with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the story it's so well written, and there's so many like strong female characters that
Oh
are
my
like
God, yeah.
pushing it forward. So it's like it's just such a pleasure to like be a
And
part of it.
it's just a layered story too. It's like the mystery of the dad, and it's like the mental health aspect, and it's the boyfriend
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's a very layered guy.
Yeah.
He's this is what I love, right? He's not just like a good boyfriend guy, and
100%.
he's not a bad
Yeah.
guy. It's a real
Mhm.
person. And I don't
Yeah.
want to give it away because I want everybody to watch this show because it's so fucking good.
No, it was a really, really cool experience, and there were so many like legends working on it who
Oh my
I
gosh.
honestly didn't even know who they were. Like
Really?
Constance Marie, I didn't
You didn't
know
watch
she was.
George Lopez every night on
I
Nick
mean,
at Night?
I'm not from America. Like I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
Of course, I had heard of George Lopez show, but I didn't know
Yeah,
who she
yeah,
was.
yeah.
I didn't know she was the mom in Selena. Like I just didn't like
Yeah.
connect these things together. She was in it, like, and I was like, she's like the coolest person. And then John Corbett is in it for a while, who's
Mm-hmm.
like a legend too, who I had no idea. I mean, Bob Odenkirk, obviously.
Odendirk, yeah.
But yeah, all these people, and like that's the most fun thing for me, I think, is like working with all these like different people who've had their different journeys all come together and like doing
Hmm.
something together. It's like so
Yeah.
exciting to like just be there
Oh my
and like
God, I can't
vibe
imagine.
together. Yeah.
That's fantastic. What was like? Oh, I remember like seeing that picture you posted on your Instagram, but before Undone came out, and it was like you with this like this door.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, what is this? Like, it's like a play. And I remember like when I finally saw it, I was
Right.
like incredible. Like the that technique is mind blowing.
Yeah, no, I think it almost makes it more dramatic in some way. Like I feel like a lot of good acting comes from the eyes for me.
Hmm.
And like they really capture the eyes, like the
Yeah.
emotion in there, somehow they've captured it. It's crazy.
Hmm.
I really don't even understand how it all works fully, but there's like teams of people in 3 different countries working on it at once to
Really?
like make it happen, like Austin,
Wow.
Texas, Amsterdam, and LA. They're all like doing it together, and it's like it takes a long time, which is what
Yeah.
is like a really hard part about it, but
Of course.
it's worth
Yeah.
it.
That's so cool. That's
Yeah,
really, really cool.
everybody should go watch it on Amazon Prime.
Yes, I mean, it's 8 episodes. I think I watched it in a day. Like I couldn't
Oh
stop. It
yeah,
was like
it's
text.
a really like it's perfect for binging. Yeah,
Exactly. And what else are we doing right now? So you might as well just watch it.
exactly.
I remember I was like texting my friends, like, holy shit. Like, of course I was watching it for you, right? Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Like, I was like,
Sure,
oh,
sure,
my
sure.
friend's in
Yeah.
this. But so like it was such a well-told story. And I was
You
like,
just
oh man,
get you just get
we're
pulled
wrapped
into
up
it. Yeah.
into it.
Hmm.
And then the ending, like I'm not gonna ruin it for anybody, but we're gonna talk about that ending. um, yeah, that's fantastic. Congratulations again on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you how your life changed after the role of Jerry. Like, okay, so I guess Undone, right? Did you audition for that? Was
Yeah,
it
yeah,
a
yeah.
character that was like supposed to be like South Asian or like?
Yeah, no, no. So Undone, I auditioned. So
Yeah,
well, Patty Cakes basically started my whole thing. Before
yeah,
that, I mean, everything was completely new to me after
new,
that. So
yeah,
I moved to LA. I have a manager. I have an agent. I'm going out on auditions. So I like
yeah,
get into the grind of it. And
mm-hmm.
Undone was just one of those auditions. I went for the audition the first time,
Yeah,
and it was an in-person audition, but they just wanted me to speak.
yeah,
So I did it. You
mm-hmm.
do it, you leave. Fuck it, forget
You let it
about it. I
go,
mean,
right?
like
Yeah,
I've spent too much time like doing an audition and then like worrying about it. But
of course.
the fact is 95% of auditions you go to, you are not ever gonna hear from them ever again.
Anyway,
So
yeah,
you just gotta like deal with that and like move on. It's almost like the more desperate you feel, the less chance you have of getting it.
Bryan Cranston said that. I'm not sure if you've ever seen that interview where he was talking about that. He's basically said the same thing you said. Like he was, going on all these auditions. He was like hitting the pavement, and he was very desperate, like most actors can be.
100%.
Yeah. Like, I want this. I need this. And like, I forgot if he like talked to someone that was like a mentor to him, or if he just came to this epiphany on his own. But basically, he like came to this conclusion that like his job is to audition. Like your job as an actor is to audition, right?
Right.
Like you go in, you prepare your work, and then you go in and you audition, and then like you said, like that's that. You want to give your best foot forward. You want to do your best job in there, but you can't be desperate.
It's almost like if they smell the desperation on you, they don't want you. But the minute you go in there, like you're the coolest fucking person in the world who doesn't care about it, they're like, oh, like who are you? It's crazy. It's really funny how it works. But yeah, so no, you go in. I went in there, I did it, forgot about it. Weeks later, I get a call saying, we want you to come back, do another audition with the producer.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I went back in there. And I remember there was like 2 other guys waiting there to do the same thing, which is it's so like weird because it's like one of these guys, one of us is probably gonna be in this,
Did they look like you?
So weird, huh?
Did they look like you? Were they like?
I mean, we're all South Asian for sure. I mean,
okay.
Kate spent a lot of time in India, and she knows a lot about India and is like really into Indian culture and stuff.
That's
so
amazing,
she knew like Sam had to be like Indian origin. In her mind, he was like Indian origin from the state of Kerala. But once they cast me, I wasn't from Kerala. I was from Tamil Nadu, which is a close by state. So some of like one of the episodes, where we go to Sam's past, like I had to help them figure out what the language and like.
Oh, that's so cool.
Really cool. But like they made it specific to me in some way. But
that's amazing.
But yeah, I went in for the second audition. It was the casting director, Linda, who is like this crazy woman who's amazing. I love her. She does a lot. She does like all the big animation castings, Simpsons, Family Guy, like American Dad, like anything anime. She's like the animation.
She's the one, right? They go to.
Yeah. So she was there. It was Kate, who's the creator and the writer, and Bob. Raphael Bob Wachsberg, who was like created BoJack. And so we sat down. I did the same scene that I had done before for them, and then they randomly pulled out another scene, and they were like, "Oh, let's try it,
Oh my
let's go for it." And I was like,
"Cold read.
Like this is where I thrive. Like this is my shit. Like throw it at me. Like, you know what I mean? Like So we did it, and it felt good, and I left. And it's crazy. Like I was about to go home to India for like a few months, like a week after that. And they were like, "No, we want you. Like you can't go." And I was like, "Okay, fine. Like,
okay, I'll stay.
Yeah.
I'll do this Amazon show."
No, I ended up going home for like just 15 days because in between, because I was like, I have the ticket anyway. I really want to go home. I'll go home. But that's how it worked out.
So you think you're better at cold reads? You or
I think so. I think I get too in my head about something.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just easier. You get it, and you make a choice, and then you go with it. Like you can't really
exactly.
For
that's
me,
why
anyway.
Too. Like I keep going back and forth between whether I like self tapes more or going in person. Because self tapes, I know, like you really get to, scrutinize, pick. But then I feel like I think about it too much at some point. And if I just go in and do what I can, it's like it's freeing in some way. I don't know though. I keep going back and forth.
So I'm the same way. Someone told me that you should, when you're doing a self tape, you should set like a boundary for yourself. Like, okay, I'm gonna prepare this, right? And then when I'm gonna go film it, like I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do no more than 5 takes, or I'm gonna do 10 takes. Because like if you keep,
too much,
you can drive yourself crazy. Like, oh, that wasn't right. I gotta do this again. And then and you start to lose your flavor. I think the more you do it.
100%. Yeah.
That's so cool. I guess I have some questions. We can go to some questions. Carrie Vishwanathan said, he's my roommate and a filmmaker.
Oh,
he's in Connecticut.
Nice.
He's in Connecticut. He left me.
Oh, cool.
He said, "You're the truth." Hey, Siddarth, you're the truth.
Thank you.
My question is, what do you find is really important in the director-actor collaboration? What type of direction helps you? So I guess a two-parter.
Cool. So far in my experience, all the directors that I've had have been really open to like trying stuff. And I think like that works really for me too, is that like I know there's a certain thing that we have to follow, but if something comes up, if you just have like some kind of inspiration and you want to try it, why not, right? Like you don't
Yeah,
know what will come out of that. It might be like a special thing that you or nobody had thought of yet. So I
exactly.
think like I mean, so far too, I've worked with a lot of like people who haven't directed too much
Okay.
yet,
Yeah.
like first time or time. So they are also like wanting to hear your thoughts and your ideas to the table, and that's been
Awesome.
really helpful and nice. But I don't know,
Yeah.
how it is with a director who knows exactly how you want it. I feel like
Mhm.
that would work for me only if I like respected their like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if I
Yeah. Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
what they did was like the
The right
shit.
choice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll just follow your Bible and like I know you'll figure it out later. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I haven't had that experience yet, but I think more than anything, I mean, as for any role on set, I think it's such a collaboration that you have to be open to like hearing someone else's thoughts out and like not just hearing it but like working with it just to
Yeah.
see like you never know. I feel like some of the most special moments happen when you haven't planned it. Of course
That's
everybody's on the
true.
same page and has an idea of what they want, but then it's
Yeah.
like some magic happens on set and it's like that's it. So yeah, I would say like something like that.
Was that your Meisner training that
Was that my Meisner training? I
helps
guess
you stay
so.
in the moment?
No, I mean I guess so in some ways, like
Yeah.
I think I just operate like that just in anything that I'm working on too, is like I want other people to be working on it with me as well, and that just brings out like hive mind situation that
Yeah.
ends up being better for the project. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's what's up, dude. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just released. I'm sorry, looking at my notes. Sorry if I look
Sure,
really
sure, sure.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Huh?
You just released, or your film Bloodshot got released right before
Yeah,
coronavirus.
right
So
on the
it's in.
day of coronavirus
Uh,
lockdown.
so, oh my gosh. So it was in theaters for a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
for like
Did you
3 days or
guys
something.
did you get to go to the theater and see it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We had the
Good.
premiere, and
Okay,
then that
good.
weekend it was like no more theaters. So
Yeah,
I got to watch it in the theaters, which was really
good.
fun. And people still are watching it on demand, so
Yeah,
that's
it's on
cool.
demand. Yeah,
And like I feel like everybody's stuck at home, so like it's kind of cool, that we can watch
yeah.
it. It would have been fun, obviously, to for everybody to go in theaters because it's such a big
S-
movie and
Of
like there's so many
course.
like action sequences and all that stuff. But
And it's Vin Diesel.
yeah, it's fucking Vin Diesel. So yeah.
How was that working with him?
Cool. I mean, I didn't really have too many. Like, I have like
Scenes with
half
him?
a scene with him, but
Gotcha.
like I mean, he's around. We shot it in South Africa, which
Oh
was
wow.
really cool. So like, I was there for
Really?
a month shooting in Cape Town, which was like
Oh my
an amazing
gosh.
experience. And yeah, no, it was awesome. It's like such a stark difference between a set like that and a set like Patty Cakes, because it's like
Yeah.
indies. I mean, indies are where it's at, man. Like that's where like the real shit happens, honestly. Like where
Yeah.
everybody's like on the same page, like passion is
Page.
in the project, want to make it good. It's like it's vibrant and live. A big movie like that, like of course it was so much fun and I learned so much, but it's so much more of like a clock where all the gears are turning and
Yeah.
everybody has to do their thing and it will kind of work out. So there's like
Exactly.
some kind of you feel separated from it in some ways, but
Hmm.
that's just you just have to work to like not have it see like sap your art, I guess, in some way.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. I mean, more than Vin, almost all my scenes are with Guy Pearce, who's like a
Oh my
legend,
gosh.
like
Yeah.
the sweetest man. So I learned a lot working with him and like
Hmm.
having scenes with him and just like watching him like do his thing. So that
What
was
did you?
really, really cool.
Can you think of something off the top of your head that you learned?
Sure. I mean, like for him, he's such like an old school guy. I feel like for me, right? If I'm on set, I've come on the day and we're doing this scene, and
Yeah.
Dave, the director, is like, "Oh, Sid, why don't you try saying this?" Or like,
Yeah.
"Try doing it like this." And I'm like, "Great, like give me more of that. Like, let's try." For him, it's like if the line is like, "This is," or like, "You need to come back now," and you
Yeah.
change his line to like, "You have to come back today," even something like that, he'll be
Yeah.
like, "Wait," and then he'll have to like start
Figure it
from the
out.
beginning and like work and it's like crazy for to watch him do that because it shows you like how precise he goes with
Mhm.
it. It's like
Yeah.
every line is like wired in a certain, he like wires it in, and then when it changes he has to rewire it so that it has the same effect.
Intent.
And it's like,
Yeah.
wow, like it's really wild to watch him like do it so
Yeah.
quickly. And like, yeah, that was really interesting.
That is really interesting. That's like working with a pro. Like that's working with a pro. Like like a
Yeah,
legendary actor.
yeah,
Like,
and
that's
like he's
fantastic.
done 60 movies now. He's always joking about how he's like, "This is my 60th movie. Like I'm a veteran. Like I'll totally do it." But yeah, no, no, it was really cool. Yeah,
How many days were on set? You said a month. You were in South Africa.
I was on set for like maybe 15 days, but they
Mhm.
had to have me there, for like a
Yeah.
month. Yeah, yeah,
Wow. What's the best advice you've gotten about being a working actor?
yeah. I don't know. I think at Sundance at the labs when
Mm-hmm.
we were workshopping patty cakes. Um, Ed Harris was one of like the advisors. So all these
Yeah.
advisors would like walk around like where different people were like workshopping and just watch and help the director, give him some
Mm-hmm.
advice and leave and stuff. And so we were doing like this one scene with me and Patty in the car, and I had like the crucial line in the scene, and
Yeah.
I had to really deliver it, and I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't getting it. Like it just wasn't hitting. And
Yeah.
we kept trying it, and then Ed Harris walks on set right then, and
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
fuck, man, like it's like, how's this gonna work? And I'm trying it and I'm trying it, and it's not happening. And like literally,
Mhm.
Ed Harris goes, "Time out, everybody, time out." Sid, and he like pulls me aside to like talk to me for a bit, and
Yeah.
like like I honestly like it was such a daze for me that I don't even remember like half the
It's like
things,
surreal, right?
but it like worked. And like I think a
Wow.
lot of what he was saying was that Sid, like, I understand, like, Jerry, like, he's a rapper, like, he's a cool rapper. Yeah, forget all that shit. Like, forget everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just be you and talk to her. Talk to her. Just connect. And
Yeah.
like the way he said it and explained it, like, really like got to me in some way. And then
Yeah.
I went back. We did it a couple more times. It felt good, and he was like, "Yes," and then he walked off. It was like a really cool experience. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it, and that also comes a lot from Meisner type thing,
Yeah.
to just be there and
Yeah.
just like forget it, like the basic I think is to forget everything and to be there,
Mm-hmm.
and then you start adding like, okay,
Different
now
layers
that
to
I
it.
have this, now we can build a character on that strong layer in some way. But yeah, I think that was a really
That's
really good thing, and I've never forgotten it for sure.
that's so fantastic. I feel like, acting you can get so into your head, right? When you're trying to do
Yeah,
something and then, when you're working on something and like it's not clicking and you're like, oh, am I doing this right? I'm fucking up. And then to just remember that, like, okay, throw all the shit away and it's just me and you, me and my partner
right, right,
together
100%.
and just
And like
locking eyes.
listening is
And
half of it,
listening is everything. I feel like,
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
um yeah,
But yeah,
acting is reacting. That's like the first thing they tell us, right?
sure, yeah. I
I
remember, Jason.
love
Yeah.
you. I'm so happy to talk to you. It's
Yeah, you
fantastic.
too.
um, Challenges as a South Asian actor in this industry. Has anything affected you personally? Anything you've
Not,
noticed?
I think I skipped a lot of the first round of struggles,
Yeah,
having started off on patty cakes,
yeah.
I didn't have to do like the taxi
The
driver
taxi
or like
cab, yeah.
bodega guy type, like small role type things. I didn't have
Mhm.
to go through that in some way.
Yeah.
So those kinds of struggles I haven't had to, you know, deal with.
Yeah.
But I think the strain of those struggles still exists in some ways, you know.
Of course,
It's more
yeah.
just like, I think coming off of Patty, everyone's like, oh yeah, he's the funny guy, like, you know, funny Indian guy.
Mhm.
So I keep getting the funny Indian guy roles or
Yeah.
like auditions for them anyway.
Mhm.
And it's like, of course, like I can do that and I like doing that, but I also like want to do dramatic roles or like something that's just not, you know, it doesn't have to be like something's
Yeah.
in a box. And so still exists 100%. But you know, it just depends. It just depends on like who you're working with and like,
Mhm.
you know, what they want. And like nowadays, yeah, it's if you're lucky, you're working with people who are on the same page as you about all this stuff.
Exactly.
Like so, but it's definitely a struggle because I definitely feel like I'm not even thought about for certain roles
Mhm.
just because like they know they're not gonna cast an Indian person. You know, I'll get
Yeah.
these auditions and you'll have the breakdowns for it when I get it, you know, and it'll be like male, like 28, like all like
Ethnicities.
all of this, and it's like, yeah, right, dude. Like,
Really? You think?
come
Yeah.
on. Like so like in some ways, like I get it, but it's also like when it comes to this topic, I think my say about it is you really can't wait for someone to put you in the thing that you want to see yourself in. You have to make it yourself. That's the only
Yeah.
way. And so my energies have just been put into more recently figuring out how I can do that. And like forget
Yes.
about like waiting for them to put you in this thing. Make it. Like make it somehow. Like have, you know, figure it out. So it's like, yeah,
I
that's what
mean,
I'm, you know.
that's fantastic. And that's like was going to transition into my next question. But like, you have the tools. I mean, you started this because you had created this really fun, like,
Right.
character, right? So like you have this foundation, and now you have this like real world on-set experience that you're combining. So like,
100%.
what do you plan to do with this? Like, what's your next
I
step? You
mean,
want to?
I've been writing a lot. I
Yes.
really, I mean, for me, I think even before I got into acting or like stumbled into it, I knew that if my visa hadn't worked out and I had to go home, which I was
Mhm.
extremely happy to go do, I
Mhm.
was gonna shadow directors and work
Yeah.
in the industry and like figure out how to direct my own shit. So I
Yeah.
still really have a passion to do that. And I
Mhm.
think right now I really want to just direct and like make people realize that I can so that they give me projects to direct. So
Yeah.
my game plan right now is to direct shorts
That's
that I
awesome.
can send to a festival and then people watch it in the festival and then maybe make a feature out of it and then, you know, baby steps like that. So right now I've been writing a lot, trying
That's
to
great.
figure out which short that I should make or can make
Yeah.
and how to do it with the least amount of money possible. And
Money's always the
yeah,
obstacle.
but yeah, so I've been trying to figure out how to direct, and that's my goal right now.
That's fantastic. There's a book I want you to read. It's like right behind me, and I feel like if I grab it, it's gonna knock everything over. It's
What is
called.
it?
I'm gonna grab it anyway. I'm gonna grab it at
Okay.
the end. But
Okay.
it's a book I've been reading. I'm reading right now because I've directed a web series and like a couple short films, and I'm just, I want to eventually direct a feature. So like I'm just trying
Yeah.
to prepare myself and put that out into the universe.
Hmm.
Let me take another question. I don't want to be having conversation by myself. Well, we seem to only have comments right now. Julie Bell says she loves this. Carrie said, and I'm gonna butcher this. Tamiladu represent. Did I say
Hmm.
that? Did I say it
Yeah.
right? Oh,
Pretty
okay,
good.
cool.
Yeah.
You're like, you didn't bomb.
Yeah.
Represent. Cool. What do you do outside of being an artist? Outside of being an actor and a writer? Do you have any like hobbies?
I play a lot of video games,
Yeah, you're a
a
gamer.
lot, especially during the quarantine. I've been playing a lot. I've
Yeah.
been playing Call of Duty like all day, every day with my friends. But it's nice. I
Yeah,
think like the gaming thing is nice, especially when you're playing online with your friends. Is because you're hanging out with your friends too. So it's like
of
you guys
course.
had a conversation. So it's like less. It's all. It's. I mean, it's about the game, but it's also about like having fun with your friends. So
Of
that's nice.
course.
Um, what else? What else have I been doing? I've been cooking a lot more recently.
Yeah, we were just talking about that before we went
Yeah,
on.
my mom's been sending me like videos of her cooking Indian
Oh
things
my
that I can
gosh.
watch and follow. So I've
I
been
love
doing
that.
that. It's been really helpful, just like as a discipline thing of like cooking stuff, because I never cook.
I'm the
And
same. I was telling you like right before, like I've
yeah,
cooked more the past month than I probably cooked all last year. Like
right. No,
it's
it's
good.
been great. Yeah.
I'm gonna make a really good husband one day. Like, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna
I
have
mean,
like
I was, yeah, exactly, exactly. Everybody needs these skills these days.
exactly. That's so funny. I want to ask you another question. What was it like when you saw yourself on the big screen for the first time? What was that experience like?
It was weird.
Yeah.
I think I like couldn't get over like I was like, oh, like fuck, like there's a pimple there, or like, oh, like
Really?
why do I make my eyes do this? And I was like looking at it too close. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I found it hard to like just watch it for what it is, and I'm still
Yeah.
getting used to that. And I think
Yeah.
I'm getting more used to it now. But I was always like this is weird. It's almost like you know how people hate like listening to their own voice
Voice,
recorded? It
yeah.
was kind of
Hmm.
like that. It was like, oh, like I didn't know I moved like that or like did that. And in some ways you can't worry about that when you're acting, especially because
Of
then you'll
course.
stop like doing what you naturally would, and you will
Hmm.
start like editing
Becoming a
yourself.
robotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, it was weird. It was really weird to like watch myself at
Yeah.
first. I think I'm still not so used to it.
Yeah. I mean, you'll get used to it.
Yeah.
I see big things coming.
Oh man, I
What was
hope so.
your family like and your friends like to see all the success, you know? You
Everyone is so excited. I mean, my parents, like, I mean, they know, what Hollywood is, and they even knew
yeah.
what Sundance was and stuff,
Oh,
but
good.
like they
Yeah.
still like had they don't really have any idea of like, what happens or like how it works. So they're still
Yeah.
kind of clueless about it in some ways, but they're really supportive, and
That's good.
they're like typical Indian parent attitude of like, I don't care what the fuck you do, but you don't fucking slack off. Like if you're doing this, like you do it
Yeah.
best you can. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like it's really, it's really sweet, and they're of course support me in every way that they can. And my friends too are like really, especially my friends back home in India,
Yeah.
really trippy for them because I don't sound like this when I'm back home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like if someone called me right now from back home, I would sound
Mm-hmm.
completely different. And it's not because I'm putting it on. It's like a weird subconscious switch that happens for me,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
accent wise, or like even like the type of English that I speak in some way.
Yeah.
So for them to watch it and me doing this in here is like really trippy for them, and they're like super excited. But
That's so
yeah,
exciting.
and I mean my friends here too are, I mean, everybody, it's such a crazy story, and everyone is like just like what the fuck, it's
Yeah.
like a positive what the fuck, but it's still like, oh, where did this come from,
Yeah.
so it's still like, everyone's really excited, which is cool.
I mean, I think because I think I was telling someone else this before on another episode was because it's exciting. It's like everybody dreams of, you know, being on TV or whatever. Because I remember I did the first time I was on this like little like ID discovery thing a couple
Mm.
years ago. I was like the red herring of the episode, like the suspect. And my family in Florida called me in the middle of the episode. They're like, they're like all watching it together, and they're like yelling. They're like, Jason, did you kill that fat white girl? And just like my favorite story,
Got
and I'll like
really
never
into
forget
it.
that. Yeah, like they were calling me during the commercial break, and I was like, just keep
That's
watching.
so cute.
But they're like, no, you can't be killing fat white girls, Jason.
Oh, that's awesome.
uh, so yeah, people get excited for you, and I love that your parents are so supportive, and they're like, you're gonna do this right.
Yeah, they're like, you great. This is what you want to do. Just don't fuck it up.
Yeah, that's how my mom is.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you did that? That's cool. Do it
Right.
well.
Yeah.
I think immigrant parents are just like,
Yeah.
do it
100%.
well. No
Yeah.
matter what, do it well.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
fantastic. We're gonna start wrapping up. I don't want to take up too
Sure.
much of your time. I know
No, no, no.
you gotta
This
make
was so
dinner.
fun. Yeah.
um, I guess, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So it's gonna be like about to be summer 2025. What are some things you want to have done already, and what you're gonna be gearing up to do?
I want to have directed a feature that plays at a major film festival.
Yeah,
I think that's my goal.
that's awesome.
And I think, like, for me personally, that's what I really am interested in. So I'm gonna like push myself towards doing that. And I know if I do that, the acting stuff will fall into place, you know, in some way. I do love acting. And I'm like becoming better at it from every project that I do.
Yeah.
But it's hard to, I don't feel in control of it, of what I'm gonna be in. So it's hard for me to like be like, oh, I want to be in a movie, a Scorsese. You know what I mean? Like, I can't say that because you just don't know what's gonna happen. You can't be like, oh, I want to work with like Woody Harrelson on, you know, like it's just not gonna, you know. So like, I'd rather make my goals more things that
you can achieve.
I know I have more of a control over in some way. But yeah, I think that's my main focus right now.
I'm the same way. Like, I love acting. I'm like always gonna act. But I really love writing as well. Like, I remember growing up, you know, I would write these, you know, little stories and stuff. And I remember like 6th grade, I wrote this like hip hop adaptation of Cinderella, and I gave it to my choir teacher, like, Miss Patterson, can we do this play?
You should bring that back.
I wish I could read it. It was probably so horrible, but she was so encouraging, you know, she was so encouraging and so supportive. And I like always remember that. But like, I never thought I could be a writer. So it wasn't until I moved to New York and I started meeting other people, and I had all these ideas, and I worked on this, I was a PA on this TV show. And I just felt so stifled after, you know, like I wasn't acting, I wasn't creating, I was just a PA. And I was actually able to finish something, and I felt so empowered. And like, then I got into, you know, I directed a couple plays before and worked on stage, but like creating something like a movie was just so like invigorating. And I was like, wow, I could really see myself like doing this, you know?
Yeah, and I think different people have that feeling for different things, you know, but I think that feeling is such a true thing. And like, you know, when you feel it. You know, it's such like an undeniable thing. You're like, oh, like I'm meant to be doing this in some form. And it's like, catch that. Like, don't let it go, you know?
Exactly, right? Hold that in the bottle. Who inspires you?
Who inspires me?
Or who do you admire most? It could be personal, it could be other actors, storytellers, directors.
Right now, it's different directors. Right now, it's I've been watching these Japanese movies by Takeshi Kitano.
Oh,
He's
nice.
a director who makes these really idiosyncratic films. And yeah, I don't know. I'm inspired more by people's works than the people themselves, I guess, in some way. But yeah, I've been watching his films, and I've been really inspired by them to like make stuff of my own. So right now it's a Kitano. That's like, and another, like, one of my all is Wong Kar-wai, and I love his movies, and everybody should go watch them.
Wait, say it one more time. You kind of broke up for a second.
Wong Kar-wai.
Wong Kar-wai,
from Hong Kong. And he's the reason like I want to make movies like him in some way. So yeah, he's another big inspiration.
What's the first movie we should watch of his that you recommend?
In the Mood for Love is probably his most famous one, and it's the one that won like all the awards and stuff. So it's probably the easiest one to get into.
Yeah.
But all of his, it's like it's with him and like some other people. It's like when people ask me what's your favorite one of his, it's always just the one that I watched the latest.
Yeah.
Changing. So it's
because you love them all basically. You're like you find little things about them.
Yeah. But yeah, I recently watched Parasite after like everybody else in the world. I
haven't seen it yet.
It's really, really good.
It's on my list.
It's like I feel like it's another one of those movies that like there are movies that are great and like touch you and like you love them, But there's some movies that you watch and that makes you want to make things. They're like, you're like, wow, like how? Like this is so exciting. Like I want to like do something now. And that was a movie like that for me. And I know, I mean, it's like overplayed at this point because everybody's already spoken about it and like it won
but
the
still
Oscar,
a great fucking movie is a great fucking movie.
Yeah, still a great movie. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Another question. Let's see. Oh, Mariana said, great interview. Watch Parasite.
Yes.
I haven't watched it. It's a long, stupid story, but yeah, it's a long, stupid story. Okay. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it by the end of this week. Okay. Carrie has another question.
Yeah.
Favorite actors and actresses?
Ooh, okay. I think like I love Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh man.
R.I.P. I think like every time I watch his performances, it's like it just feels so like real, but also like has so much power, you know? Like there's somehow balance of like him just like throwing these lines, but like having so much meaning or something. I love Philip Seymour Hoffman. I love Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh yeah.
Great. I watched Fandom Thread again recently, and he's like so good in it.
He's legend, right?
I love Meryl Streep.
Oh my gosh.
These are all like obvious ones, though. I'm trying to think.
I know, but they're the best for a reason. Like
I know. They're just so good at like. I don't know.
Like I was watching Big Little Lies season 2 of Meryl Streep.
I haven't seen. I watched like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah. But it's just she did this thing. I was watching this thing, and she's like doing something, right? And then she does this like this little like nose scratch, and I'm like, no other actor would do that. Like I remember just like, and it's like just fit. Like it wasn't like an acty thing. Like he just made it so subtle and like so specific, and I was like, wow, like no other actor would do that. Like that's why she's fucking Meryl Streep.
She's amazing.
Like, yeah.
She's amazing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of more people just recently that maybe that I had seen that did such a good job. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Those are definitely my go-tos.
I mean, solid choices right there. Can you give some recommendations for us? Like a top 5 things we should be doing or watching, or what something creative, a recipe that we should be like doing for routine time?
You should definitely. I'm trying to think. I watched Devs. I just finished watching Devs on Hulu.
I'm gonna write these down.
Yeah. I liked it a lot. It's Alex Garland's show. He made Ex Machina and Arrival and stuff. And this is like a show form of what he does, you know, and it like is really mind-boggling. I mean, I don't know if I love it, but it really made me like think a lot. So I just finished it last night, and so people should watch that.
That's awesome.
Music wise, what have I been listening to?
I feel like you love music.
I've been recently. My friend Matt and my roommate, one of my best friends, he discovered this guy. I mean, he discovered him. He's like really popular. Like this famous like musician, Jason Molina.
Okay.
And his band is called Songs Ohio.
Jason Molina, Songs Ohio.
Yeah, like Ohio, but with an A.
Yep.
And I've been only listening to Songs Ohio up recently, and
that's awesome.
He's got such like a soulful voice, and his like music is like so sad, but also like hopeful in some way. I don't know. You just pop it on and see if it's your thing, but definitely check it out if you haven't, because I had no idea who this person was, but he's like a big like figure in like this type of music.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'll definitely check that out.
Those would be my 2 recommendations.
Thank you, man. That's so cool. Let's see if there's any last. No. Jason, watch more foreign films. Yes. Thank you. Oh, awesome. This is a great conversation with you.
Yeah, it's been so fun.
Thank you so much.
How do you guys do this? Do you try to do this like weekly at least, you know?
Yeah, I try to do it on Tuesdays and Fridays. So I'm the kind of person where like I have to keep busy.
Yeah.
So the first week of quarantine, I was just like, what the fuck? Like I have like nothing to do. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was trying to write and I couldn't write. Like I would sit down at the laptop and I would like have my script open and like nothing would come out. And I'd be like, what is this? And it took like almost like till last week where I started like actually feeling inspired. So I was like, what can I do to stay busy? You know, so I started cooking. I was doing these cooking lives. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start making shit, right? And then you know, I have these weekly meetings because the Kabila is it's called the Artist Kabila, and usually we meet once a month here in New York. And then you know, writers bring in scripts, actors do a nice code read of it. Sometimes people sing. It's like a way for
Cool.
you know artistic people to get together and like have a community, you know.
Yeah.
But of course, we're all stuck at home, so we decided to bring it online. And like the first Sunday, everyone really loved it, and we were like, "Can we do it again?" So we kind of been doing it every Sunday. And then I was like, "And I need more," you know. And I was like, "Okay, I got one day I can do something, and then I'm doing cooking, but maybe I can just start talking to people and get some inspiration." So I've been reaching out to friends and seeing if they would talk to me. And
no, and I think this is the perfect time. People are willing to talk right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like looking to talk. So
like, well, I want to connect with someone.
Yeah, exactly. So it's perfect. Yeah, thank you for doing it. I mean, I had such a good time.
No, thank you for doing it.
It's so good to see you again after so long and connect. Yeah.
We've been talking like, you know, on Instagram.
Yeah, here and there,
but like it's nice to talk to you and see you in person, like
for sure.
in person.
You too.
I have a quote.
Yeah.
That I want to share. I usually like to share a quote at the end.
Oh, how nice.
And I think you'll yeah, I know, right? I'm so indulgent.
Nice.
I'm so indulgent.
No. Actually though.
But it's by one of my favorite directors, Ava Duvernay.
Yeah.
And she has this really quote. Well, it's a kind of a long quote, but I'll read it.
Yeah.
She says, "For me, it's a question of the way we pursue our creative dreams. There's something in our culture that says your dream or the thing you're pursuing has to happen immediately and all art at once. That is destructive to the creative spirit. I just embraced the idea that this was going to be a gradual exploration of the thing I was interested in, making films, giving myself permission to go slowly." And she made her first one at 35. You know,
I know. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
But like, it goes to show that like, if you don't, if it is the thing, if you pick the thing that you know you want to do for the rest of your life anyway, then like, might as well just work on it regardless of like what the outcome is in some way. And I know that's so tough. Like that's really hard to like do. But I think I like that's the ideal that we work towards, is like to be able to just do that, you know? But yeah, that's so cool.
And then today I woke up because I have like I go to sleep at like 6 a.m. and I wake up at 10. Like I have no normalcy in my life.
You texted me on Instagram and I was still awake. I was still awake at like 2 a.m. I was like, yo, like how is he awake right now? Like, and I was like, oh, like I forgot about the time difference.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like did he just not go to bed, or is he just wake up this early? That's
literally
awesome.
my sleep schedule is a mess normally, and like during quarantine it's just like a free-for-all. It's like I'm taking like 4 naps a day, you know, I'm eating 20 meals, like it's a mess.
That's funny.
But I woke up today and like I was flipping through channels and I'm like eating my my little cereal, whatever. And this movie was on. I saw in movie theaters that I love called Blind Spotting, and I was like, "Oh
yeah, with David, right? He was
David Diggs. Yeah, he was like, yes, exactly." So I was like, "That's such a funny thing." Like the first thing I turned on was that, and I was like, "I'm talking to Sid tonight." Anyway, so I watched it, cried like 28 times because it's such a good, powerful movie that I was like, I need to recommend everybody watch this. Blind Spotting. It's on HBO right now.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Watch it. But David's in it. My friend Utkarsh is in it as well.
He's so funny.
Yeah. It's a good movie. Awesome.
Raphael,
yeah.
He's
Raphael
so
Casal, I think. Yeah.
This movie, like, it's so underrated. It was one of my favorite movies of 2018, and it's still
it came out at Sundance, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my recommendation for everybody to check out. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning.
Yeah, thank you. No, not at all. No problem. I had such a good time. And I hope what are you gonna do for the rest of the day? Well, I mean, it's probably late already for you.
Yeah, it's 7:18 right now. So I'm going to maybe make dinner. I don't know. Maybe I'll make dinner. I want to play some
Cool.
music. I just made like a new like 90s hip hop like playlist. And like I
Ooh.
think when I messaged you, I think I was making that playlist and I
Nice.
wanted to play it really loud, but it was 3 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, tomorrow night, yo, I'm gonna play.
Nice.
And then I'm teaching a little workshop on storytelling with some kids in my hometown. So I'm
Cool.
gonna come up with like a little lesson plan tonight. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, probably figure out some dinner and hop on with the boys and play some Call of Duty. I think that's the plan.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm so happy to talk to you. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of you. Like,
Thank
it's
you
so
so much.
wonderful to see someone you know, like, being successful and like still being genuine and kind. And you're so talented. And I've always loved you, man. You're so good.
I really appreciate it, man. It's so good to talk to you.
Yeah, so keep shining, and you guys tune in on Friday. I'm talking to Carrie Vishwanathan and my friend Tyler Geist. They're independent filmmakers as well. So
Nice.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome. I will see you soon. Be safe,
Bye.
okay?
Yeah,
Bye.
you too.
Thank you.